Good morning, everybody. ML's got his sunglasses back, very happy. Simon. Terence. Shut up. Lozzie Bear.
Afternoon, viewers.
We love the Lozzie. As you guys saw from the last episode, Scousey's been cracking on with this rust repair on this very sexual Nissan Silvia S14A. Since yesterday, you've now made the remainder templates for here.
Yep, so basically that can go into there, and once it's tacked in, once it's fully welded in, this can all be ground down and shaped. It's one of those things, it's always easier to cut it down than it is to try and add anything on.
Shape it to start
off
with, yeah.
So you can shape it once it's all welded in, trim all this back so that's all nice, it's kind of smooth edge, and then this piece is to go into there. Again, once I started welding it in, I'll be trying to shape it a bit, hammer it in, grind it where I need it to. Once that's all done, fully weld the whole thing in, get it primed, and then can underseal it.
Much better with my sunglasses on, I've now got some eye protection. All the plates are now in place. What's the next step, Ryan?
So now I can just go around and just weld the whole thing in, and then we can start shaping the bits we need to and grinding bits back. Basically this plate was slightly oversized that way. I was just like, well, I'll weld it in place first and then I'll grind back the excess rather than try and guess exactly where I need it first.
That's the inside of a welding mask, if you ever wondered. What's all the little buttons and stuff?
You can change the sensitivity of how bright it is, how quickly it reacts and everything like that. You can also switch it from welding to grinding mode, so you can use it as a grinding mask as well, but I prefer not to because I prefer to have something like this where you've got a clear face for grinding, plus got the ear protection.
Scousey has now finished off all the welding. Quick little look around. What's the next step, Scousey? Just starting to grind it down?
Yes, I'll get the grind up, grind it all back, clean it all up so it's better prepared for when it goes to the body shop. It's not going to be ready for direct paint, but they can finish it off and they're going to have to body fill it and stuff, whatever they need to do. But the general shape of the car is back there. It's strong again, which is the main thing, rather than the old bit. Yeah. So definite improvement.
Do you need to grind down the welds on the inside, or is it just really the assessment stuff on the outside?
No, it's all the stuff on the inside will be left. You're just kind of wasting time by taking all of it out of there. You don't see it. By leaving it in there, it gives it a bit more strength. It's all going to be covered up with sealer anyway, so you're never going to see it. So you kind of want to leave it really for its own benefit. Obviously it's not a perfectly smooth finish, but obviously these bits where you weld it, it kind of penetrates and melts the metal next to it, so when it goes to the body shop that will just be filled and smoothed in. It'll be absolutely fine, you'll never know.
Once you've cleaned up all the underneath of the chassis sort of in prep for undersealing, what's the next case? Do you use like red oxide or a bit of primer?
Yeah, so I'm going to do all the bare metal bits with red oxide primer just to give them a bit of protection. Once that's all dried, then we can underseal the whole thing.
You've already gone over most of the underneath of the car with a wire wheel by the looks
it's
of it.
It's all been gone over with a wire wheel to get off all the surface rust, you know, take it back to clean metal. Then it's had all this rust treatment you see. So basically anywhere that's white is where the treatment's eaten into the rust basically. So yeah, the whole thing's just been coated.
Crazy.
Yeah, so if it's white, it's rust, which obviously there's quite a lot here.
Quite a lot, yeah.
But at least it's all treated now. So yeah, once it's undersealed, at least it's not going to allow the corrosion to grow back through, because otherwise you're just covering up a problem and not fixing it.
So effectively, all these little white bits you see here, that's all where there's rust?
That's all where there was rust, yeah. It's all been, the treatment's eaten into it, yeah.
Crazy. It's good when it's all finished though, man.
It'd be nice when it's all finished. Once it's all finished, like all this stuff, you know, because it was really, really flaky, horrible rust on there. So now that's all smoothed back, treated, primed and undersealed. It will literally look as good as new, and you will never know, and it will help keep the car last for a few more years.
A bit of longevity.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Terry's doing a thermostat change on Gareth's Altezza. I think Gareth was having a problem where his car wasn't coming up to temperature, which isn't ideal in the winter because obviously you don't really have any heaters. Terry's just getting the car up to temp now that he's changed the thermostat, just to make sure that the thermostat's operating as it should and there's no leaks. Gareth's also brought his car in to get it lowered more. I think it's already low enough. What do you guys think? This is how she currently sits. I would say it looks pretty sick as it is, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, it's not my car, it's Gareth's, and he wants to lower it a little bit more, so fair enough. Once Terry's finished doing the thermostat, we'll get the car on the ramp, adjust the coilovers, lower the car a little bit more, and then do a full alignment. We've got the Altezza in the air. We're now going to show you guys how to lower coilovers. If we look up here, Gareth has a quite nice set of Cusco coilovers. We have a very nice chap called Terence. We have some coilover C-spanners. And Mr. Terence is now going to show you how you adjust the coilies. How much lowering does the customer require?
He wants 25mm lowered and also 10mm preload. So that's what we're going to lower it first, and then we're going to wind the preload up afterwards. See, that gap is pretty much the 25mm that he wants.
Yeah.
So we're going to wind it down and then give it 10mm preload.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the bottom locking collar released. Obviously, over time, the coilovers can be susceptible to sort of water ingress and corrosion, so they can be a little bit stiff to undo initially. Terry's just going to wind the locking collar right up to the top of the thread. Right, Terry's just going to measure now the distance. It should be roughly 25mm.
Yep, that's it. Sometimes you can grab these and just spin them, but it's quite stiff. So we're going to use the larger city spanner and use the cups to our advantage and wind the spring down. So if you look, when you turn, see the shock starts winding in.
Now we're going to release the spring retainers and basically add 10mm of preload into the spring. Effectively, Terry, if you add 10mm of preload, is that going to affect the height slightly and make it more like 15mm over 25?
Yeah, it should be about that. Yeah, it's gonna because when you compress the spring, it's going to lift the car up a little bit more. But at the same time, it should stiffen the front end up as well. So there's a way that you can stiffen the front of your coilovers up if you have like a cheaper set of coilovers.
Yeah, you've got damper adjustment.
If you don't have damper adjustment, yeah. I said most of the time you can do that by damper adjustment. And you literally set them at 0 preload and just be done.
Yeah.
That's it. Bang on 10mm, look. So we just need to lock the cups off and then that's done.
Terry's now working on the back of the Altezza. He's wound the coilover down 25mm. He's now just adjusting the preload as he did on the front.
You see the paint mark there, we marked it, so that's where we wanted it to be.
Oh yeah.
That's your 25mm mark. So I've just been told that Michael fancies Hannah from Pets at Home.
Waste man, bruv, you know what I'm saying, yeah?
Adjusting the suspension obviously affects all of the geometry of the car. So the boys are now going to put the car back into the air and do a full alignment. First protocol, Terry.
Straighten the steering wheel, keep the steering wheel straight with a steering wheel holder.
That's the steering wheel holder just to keep the steering wheel nice and straight.
Lock the brake pedal with a pedal stopper.
The boys are now just getting the alignment stands into place, as we can see here. The alignment system is all set up. Terry and Michael are now just running the little bits of string from one end to the other.
we're just going to see what we can kind of get, and then try and basically make the camber, try and dial it out so there's not so much of it, make it equal really.
Yeah.
When you've got stock alignment like this and you've lowered it, you literally just have to deal with the best you can
Just
get.
make it as best you can.
Rather than actually being like, we want these settings, because there's no point trying to have your heart set on it.
What are the measurements up there on the toe, Terry?
44 on the back and 44 on the front.
So that's 0 toe, where you need it.
Yeah, 0 toe is good. I'm happy we can get it to 0 toe considering how much it's been lowered by.
Boys have now finished up setting the rear alignment. What's the front saying, Mr. Terrence?
We're about 2¼ degrees. So we're just trying to get down to 2 degrees on the front.
Terry and Scouse have now done the full alignment on the car. Ready to rock. Woo!
Go on.
Fucking hell, you even gonna make it out of here? That is so low, man. Mr. Gareth is here to pick up his wonderful Altezza. He's also brought his EK Civic along for me to have a little look. This is originally a Japanese import, is that right?
Yes.
So it's quite rare. So what engines, is this still the 1.5D series?
Yeah, so this is the D15B.
Is that different to the one I had in mind?
Yeah, so this one's got 3-stage VTEC.
Ah, man.
So you know your iVTEC where it switches from 8 valve, 12 valve to 16 valve. Does that, and then it's also got the power cam. Look here, it's got 2 VTEC solenoids.
Oh yeah, man, because mine's only got the one VTEC on.
You can do a little Google of D15Z7 is the US denomination of it. So
Pretty rare, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's pretty cool engine.
And you're going to be parting this car out, so hopefully I can buy loads of bits off you.
Yeah, man.
I love the wheels, man, as well. They're really cool.
Yeah, so those are Bridgestone wheels.
Really,
I had no idea Bridgestone made.
No, I thought they just made tyres, man.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
exactly, but
Bridgestone wheels, yeah.
Bridgestone
And
wheels.
who makes all these? These are quite cool. The wings. Are these the stock wings that you modified?
So I've cut the wing to fit these cutouts. So Track Life is the brand. The guy on Instagram that makes it called Track Life Composites,
See the guy that's in America.
and he's in the States.
Yeah.
And these are FRP. He makes carbon fiber ones as well, and he makes the short ones and the
like sort of like longer
big ones that come up to about here.
And you're actually going to be selling this car, aren't you?
I'm trying to sell it.
What do you actually want back for it? Because we might find someone on the channel who wants to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just after 2.5 grand. So if you got 2.5 grand, you can take the car as it is.
Interior wise, Garrett's got a nice bride bucket seat in here. Is that a Nordy steering wheel? It's quite nice to sort of see the differences between the UK one and the Jack one. There seems to be more interior in this. I don't remember mine having a fabric interior on the side. Oh really? No. I think they're the slightly better spec, these Jack ones, aren't
I
they?
think it's the VTI interior, so
okay.
the same as the UK VTI.
Yeah.
I think.
It's cool, man. What's the mileage on it?
154
Kilometres, so it's about, I think, 90,000 miles? Yeah.
90,000 miles.
That's good, that. If any of you guys want to get in touch with Gareth, feel free to give me a shout via Facebook, and I will pass on his details.